Battle Through the Heavens is trending again, but this time, it's not because of an epic fight scene, a grand breakthrough, or the long-awaited appearance of a fan-favorite character. No, it's because Xiao Yan, our once fiery and domineering protagonist, was actually made to lead a girl group catwalk alongside the Hongyan squad. That's right, our hero, the one who once dared to trample the heavens, has been turned into a runway model. And what's the result? Fans across the internet have been rolling on the floor, not in awe, but in ridicule. Some said, is this Battle Through the Heavens, or is this Youth with You? Others asked whether the director accidentally switched scripts with a fashion variety show. The irony, the official account still insists this is fashionable and innovative. But here's the kicker. When the fans started flaming the show for this ridiculous scene, who took the blame? Not the director, not the production company. No, all the scolding arrows flew straight toward the original author, Tian Can Tu Dou. Poor Tudou didn't even hold the copyright, didn't even write this catwalk scene, and yet he became the punching bag. And let me tell you, this isn't the first time. The rise of complaints when black and red become traffic. In recent years, every new episode of Battle Through the Heavens seems to carry a curse. Instead of applause, the updates bring waves of complaints. Some viewers even suspect the production team discovered a new traffic formula. Black and red is still traffic. In other words, it doesn't matter if the fans are praising or mocking. As long as the show is trending, it's a win. But seriously, is this the kind of traffic the fans signed up for? The latest episode once again shot straight to the hot search, not because of a jaw-dropping fight scene, but because everyone was memeing Xiao Yan's catwalk. The only positive note fans reluctantly gave was that, at least this time, the character models weren't completely hideous. Xiao Yan's face still looked like Xiao Yan, and the villain still carried a little menace. But then came the catwalk. One look, and fans wanted to dig a hole in the floor with their toes out of secondhand embarrassment. The joke no one laughed at. Now let's talk about humor. Comedy and storytelling is hard. It needs timing, context, and most importantly, respect for the characters. But in this episode, the production team apparently thought they were comedic geniuses. They tossed in a girl group runway performance in front of the camera. Who knows, maybe they thought audiences would find it quirky, bold, and modern. But in reality, it was so awkward that people watching could only laugh through their tears. Fans immediately criticized it as one of the most embarrassing moments in the show's history. And here's the funny part. I personally suspect the director behind this scene was a woman with a very specific sense of humor. Why? Because the whole segment screamed, female gaze parody. But even if that's true, does it excuse dragging Xiao Yan into a parody stage performance? Fans didn't think so. Tudou becomes the scapegoat. Here's where it gets even more tragic. After this fiasco, fans didn't just roast the production. They turned their fire toward the original author, Tian Can Tu Dou. Imagine this. You wrote a classic web novel that defined an entire generation's youth. You poured years of your life into building a world of fiery battles, heavenly breakthroughs, and emotional entanglements. Then years later, a director decides to make your protagonist strut down a catwalk like a K-pop idol. Fans watch, rage, and instead of blaming the studio, they point at you. Tudou himself has spoken up about this. He once said, "If you guys mess up, you can get scolded, but don't drag me into it." But that's the cruel reality of being the creator of a famous IP. You become the shield. And it's not like this is an isolated incident. Tudou has been compared with other web novel authors before, most notably Wang Yu, the author of Mortal Cultivation biography. Once, during a live broadcast, a fan even asked him, "Big Tudou, can you get me a signed book from Wang Yu?" The chat went dead silent. The embarrassment, off the charts. To be fair, Tudou handled it with humor. Later, he even asked Wang Yu for some signed copies to give to fans. But everyone knew, it stung. After all, he's not only blamed for production mistakes he didn't make, but fans sometimes don't even seem to respect him as the author. The domino collapse of Dupo's adaptation. Let's rewind for a moment. This isn't the first time the Battle Through the Heavens adaptation has gone off the rails. Remember when they changed the plot between Queen Medusa and Xiao Xiao? Fans were furious. Then came the Xun'er Fortress arc, which everyone hoped would redeem the adaptation. Instead, it turned into another collapse. People complained that the animation was cheap, the fight scenes lacked weight, the modeling fell apart, the dubbing felt soulless, and the story was butchered beyond recognition. Fans called it a complete Baji collapse, meaning every single aspect of the show fell apart at once. And what did the official team do? Did they admit their mistakes? Did they try to adjust? Of course not. They chose the play dead strategy. Stay silent. Don't respond. Wait until the storm passes. And when public anger hit its peak, they pulled out their ultimate trick. Reveal a flashy model of a main character. Oh, fans are angry about Medusa's ruined storyline? Quick, leak her new Du Sheng design. Fans are furious about Xiao Yan's catwalk? Drop Xun'er's new transformation model. And you know what? It worked. Temporarily. Fans, despite their frustration, would see the new designs and think, well, at least the characters still look good. Maybe things will improve later, and that small hope was enough to soften the backlash. But deep down, everyone knew this was just a delaying tactic. The real problem. At the heart of all this chaos is one simple truth. The adaptation has strayed so far from the original that even Tudou himself doesn't recognize it anymore. He said it publicly. The story on screen is not the story he wrote. Yet every time the production takes a misstep, he takes the blame. Fans feel betrayed because the battle through the heavens they see now is not the battle through the heavens they fell in love with. Instead of fiery breakthroughs and grand duels, we get clownish stunts, forced comedy, and bizarre modern trends shoved into a Xianxia world. At this point, you can't help but wonder, is the production team trying to destroy the legacy of one of China's most iconic web novels? Or are they simply too out of touch with what fans actually want? Battle Through the Heavens will probably keep trending, whether for good reasons or bad. The officials seem content riding the wave of controversy, believing that bad publicity is still publicity. But for fans who grew up with Xiao Yan, Xun'er, and Queen Medusa, every update feels like watching a beloved childhood memory being dismantled piece by piece. As for Tudou, he may forever remain the most wrong man in the world of Chinese animation adaptations. He created a classic, but every time the adaptation stumbles, he's the one dragged onto the stage to take the heat. So here's the big question. Will the future episodes redeem the show with faithful, exciting arcs? Or will we get more catwalks, more funny gimmicks, and more embarrassing hot searches? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Battle Through the Heavens has become less about fighting the heavens and more about fighting the audience's patience. And that wraps up today's breakdown of why Battle Through the Heavens is once again trending for all the wrong reasons. From Xiao Yan's catwalk to Tudou being unfairly blamed, it feels like this adaptation is running further and further away from what fans loved about the original. But what do you think? Is this just another traffic stunt by the production team? Or do you believe the show can still redeem itself in the final arcs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown of your favorite donghua. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.